Hello friends, in today's video we're doing something a little spooky. I'm a little bit stressed out about this endeavor that we are going to go on together today, and that is going to be to read some books outside of my comfort zone. Genres I don't typically read, topics I don't usually read about, and yeah, let's talk about the 3 books we're going to read. First up, this is the one that's like least outside my comfort zone. This is the Hunter x Hunter manga volume 2. I love the Hunter x Hunter is my favorite anime, and I've been wanting to get into the manga. I read the first one, I don't know, like in January, I think. So it's time to continue onward, and I'm considering this outside my comfort zone because I don't really read manga very often, and it does really confuse me sometimes because you read it backwards, and it's just like not something that I typically read. So we will do that. This is volume 2. If you do not know, Hunter x Hunter is a manga / anime series. We have our main character, this boy in the middle. His name is Gon. His mom kind of like abandoned him as a kid, and his dad was who like got him, but his dad had the profession of a hunter, so he left him with his aunt for the majority of his life. Gon always idolized his dad and wanted to become a hunter just like him. So when Gon is finally old enough to go take the hunter exam, he goes off to do that and meet some friends along the way. So this is episode 2, or volume 2, still quite at the beginning. Next, we have got Gifted and Talented. This is the Fairy Loot edition of this book. I've never read anything by Olivie Blake. My husband has read the Atlas 6 by her and hated it, so I'm not like really looking forward to this one. It's also incredibly long, which right there in itself is kind of like a downer for me because I don't really like long books, and this is 500-ish pages, but this is fantasy, and that's also something I do not read. My friend Christy, who has passed away, prior to that she had sent me one final like box of books that she was sending to me, and this was in it, and it was one of those where it's like either I could gift it to somebody else or I could read it, and because of the circumstances I'm like, well, I'm keeping everything in this box and I'm gonna read it. So that leaves us with this book. I don't know what this is about, so let's find out together. Where there's a will, there's a war. Thayer Wren, brilliant CEO of Renfair Magatech, is dead. As the so-called father of modern technology, he leaves an incredible legacy, and any of his 3 telepathically and electrokinetically gifted children could plausibly inherit the Renfair throne, or so they think. On the pipeline of gifted kid to critically depressed adult nobody wants. Yet as they gather to read Thayer's final words, which Ren will come out on top. So maybe this is more sci-fi? I don't know that I've ever really read sci-fi, so there's that. And we're going to read all of the Mindfck series, which this is also very long. This is 600 pages, but this is 5 books, if I understand correctly. It's like 5 separate books. The Risk, book 1. This is a special edition of this book that my sweet friend Emily DIY'd for me to make it censored because I am blood averse. And so she's like, I just really think you need to like read this story. Like, I think you'd like the story, but it's definitely too graphic for you. So anything that I shouldn't read, she covered up and put like notes on it, like bad guy did bad thing, if it's like something I need to know. But this fucked me up in the best way, and I need you to read it. So I made you a gore censored copy. I understand if it's still too much though. All the trigger warnings. But yeah, there is like a synopsis for each book. The first one is called The Risk. I'm not gonna read it, but I am gonna go into it with an open mind. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But these are the books we're gonna read in this little episode of reading books outside my comfort zone. Okay guys, I have an unknown amount of time until my husband gets home. So I think I'm going to read this. The thing is I was going to read my other book, but I have like 3 hours left in my other book, and I just want to like lock in and get it read. Therefore, I don't want to, and I'm making dinner tonight, and I don't have to stop for dinner. I'm being boring, but I can for sure get this just read before my husband gets home. You know what I mean? Because it's only like 180 pages and it's manga. But where does this pick up? Let me see what's going on. We've got our characters, a struggle with the mist. We're still in the Hunter exam, I believe. This is when like Hisoka is showing up. And yeah, it looks like they're going to be getting to the challenge where they're making food. So if you know anything about Hunter x Hunter, that's the vibes of this, but I'm sure it'll be a 5-star. I gave the first one 5 stars. It makes me want to rewatch the manga really so very deeply, and I'm excited about it. The other thing I hate about it is like, I understand like you gotta pay for, it's just like, I hate paying for books that take me 30 minutes to read. So it's why I only have like the first 5 volumes. It's because like this first 5 volumes was like 50 bucks and it's not getting a lot of reading time. But I am going to continue on and hopefully enjoy. And that's that. Cooking exam, and I think, I could be wrong, in the manga they make some sort of egg dish, but in this they made sushi, and I'm very thrown off. Never mind, I think they're doing the egg thing now. I just don't remember the sushi thing. I finished it. We got through the food exam and we got through the prisoner exam, and I think that's the last exam if I remember correctly, but gonna give her 5 stars. Out of my comfort zone. I don't really read manga ever, but I tend to really like it when I do. So I need to finish collecting the rest of My Hero and Hunter x Hunter, and I want to get the full collection of Demon Slayer, but it's like $200. But I do want it. Okay guys, we are starting our next book that scares me, and it is going to be 5 books. The entire Mindfck series, books 1 through 5. We are gonna get into it. I think each story is about a little over 100 pages, because this is like a 600-page book, so it's like 120 pages per book. I'm gonna try to read 1 book a night, you know? I think that's like my thoughts and feelings. Like book 1's 112 pages, so that's not too bad at all. And I think I'll probably update you guys in between each book. Okay guys, we're working through these last 2 books. We will start with the Mindfck series. I read book 1 yesterday, which book 1 was called The Risk. And I'm going to be trying to read like 1 book an evening for the next 4 days to finish this. But this book so far is, I've only read 1 of the books, and I'm sure it's going to get more messed up as we keep going. But as of right now, it's feeling like Criminal Minds. So we have Lana, our female main character, and Logan. I think that's his name, right? Lana and Logan, right? Logan, yeah. we have Lana, and she is a serial killer, okay? And she is kind of, it's very much giving, like, she's a vigilante. There is these group of people that did something, assaulted her and did some stuff to her. We don't have exactly what happens. We're getting flashbacks here and there, and I'm sure we're going to get the whole story as we go through the 5 books. But Lana's seeking out revenge on these people by killing them and torturing them, and yeah, basically just making them suffer like they made her suffer. The thing is she is kind of like thought of to be dead. They thought they left her for dead, and so she changed her, like, she stole somebody's identity, changed her name, and they're not seeing her coming, okay? So we're going through that. Well, simultaneously we have Logan, who works for the FBI, and they're trying to get to the bottom of these serial cases because there are things that are similar in all of them, like the killer Lana painting the walls red with blood, their wieners being removed, XYZ, their bodies being chopped up, all of these horrible things that are like consistent between the murders. And he is a profiler, and through this they kind of end up meeting at a coffee shop and they start going on dates. So this killer is dating an FBI agent, and something tells me he's gonna find out at some point. As of right now, there was only one spicy scene, and it was like a fairly normal spicy scene. I'll be honest, I did kind of skim it just because I'm not a spicy girl. I don't really care about spice scenes, so it was like a whatever situation to me. But so far, so good with that. And then I just got my audio loan in for this book. The audiobook is like 19 hours, which is absolutely crazy. And this is the March 2025 Fairy Loot edition of Gifted and Talented. I don't have any thoughts on it. I haven't started it yet. But we're about to get started on this one, and if I don't like it, I am completely okay DNFing this. This is super out of my comfort zone, but this beautiful copy was sent to me by my sweet friend Christy, who passed away, and when I got the box, it was the last box I ever got from her. And so I felt as though I needed to at least give it a try. I feel like Olivie Blake is very hit or miss for people, but I hope that it's okay because it is beautiful and I would like to keep it, but we will see. Hate this. I got 15 minutes into the audiobook and I already can tell every character is going to be unlikable, and I'm gonna just end up giving it a 2 star. So I might be jumping the gun a little bit on it, but I'm just not gonna read that. You know, sometimes when you know, and I just instantly know that that's not for me, baby. That's not a book for me. And it's not even like, if it had like exceptional reviews, it has a 3.5 on Goodreads, and I don't see myself liking it. I'm already, in fact, annoyed by this. We've already talked about boners multiple times. The dedication was to my family, LOL. Like, LOL is written in there, and it's just a no. So it's a no. Welcome to my kitchen at midnight. I need to make my husband's lunch, but I've been binge reading the rest of this book. We have finished it, and so this is a video of reading books that are outside my comfort zone. We started with a manga. I gave it 5 stars. I kind of knew I would give it 5 stars. So it might have been a little bit cheating to read it for this video, but you know, I knew I was gonna like it. So, you know, then we attempted the fantasy, which I quickly DNF'd and couldn't be more uninterested if I tried, which is fine. And then we moved into this, which is marketed as dark romance, and I just simply disagree. In the entire, like, 650-page book, there was, like, 3 spicy scenes. None of it was anything crazy. Which may sound like I'm complaining, but I am not. That was a beautiful surprise that there was no spice. I was absolutely thrilled by that discovery. And that leads me to this book. If you want to read it, if you're interested in it, it is more of a thriller romance. I think I talked to you guys about book 1, but essentially the whole premise is we have our main female character, Lana. And Lana is a serial killer, okay? But she is a revenge killer. Something horrific, and I mean horrific, happened to her and her brother and her dad, like her whole family. And she's now the only one who is alive, and she is coming for revenge. She is giving, I don't start shit, but I can tell you how it ends type energy. You know what I mean? And so she's this revenge killer, and she has this list of very specific people who she wants dead, who essayed her horrifically. Like 13 men essayed her and her brother and murdered her brother. Okay, this is like information you pretty much have from the jump. And so, and the town is very corrupt and blah, blah, blah. So it's her mission in life to kill these people. So in the beginning, she is at a cafe, and TLDR, she ends up getting the phone number given to her by this guy Bennett, our male lead, and he is basically asking her on a date. She did not seek him out, he sought her out and wanted to like give her his number, blah, blah, blah. He's an FBI agent. And so that kind of complicates things for Lana, but for some reason she's really drawn to him. So they continue their relationship. And he and his team are kind of on the case that is her. So it really makes things quite complicated. And it's 5 stories going, it's like 5 books to make 1 story. I don't really think the separation of the books really matters. But yeah, like 5 130-page books. But yeah, it is 5 stars. It felt like a, you know, like when you watch a drama show like Criminal Minds or House, and how like each episode is distinctly its own, but simultaneously it feels like, not feels like, there is like a through storyline through the whole thing. That's kind of the vibes that this gave, is that there was like a through storyline, like it was about the cases, it was about all these different killings that Lana was doing, but with the understory of them their romance, their love, them, just them. And yeah, there's the side character Hadley, and oh my god. The whole book is primarily dual point of view between Lana and Logan, the male main character. But we get, my favorite chapter in the whole book is the singular chapter we get from Lana's point of view. And it was just very powerful. And the whole book was just so good, and I gave it 5 stars. What can I say? It's giving I support women's rights and I support women's wrongs when I don't think Miss Lana Myers did anything wrong. I think all of her actions, extremely valid, extremely. There was this quote that I highlighted. I'm getting myself some of this like little Greek meal prep that I made. Chickpeas, cucumbers, onions, feta. And then I have tzatziki and pita bread. My husband and I ate dinner at a really weird time. We went out to, not weird time, but we went out to dinner at like 4:30. I guess that's kind of strange. But now it has kind of starving to death at this wild hour. But yeah, so like I said, Hadley's chapter was just so powerful, and it added so much to the story. Like, I would have even liked a couple chapters in her point of view. That's how like impactful I feel like her part of the story was. But yeah, I personally see no issue in Lana's behavior. I think it was so warranted. And yeah, like I said, it's giving vigilante, which naturally, I just like be sitting there the whole time singing Vigilante Shit by Taylor Swift, because that's the vibes that it gave in the best way possible. It's one of my favorite Taylor songs. But yeah, but anywho, what I was saying, I didn't tab, I just highlighted, but there was this one like sentiment, I guess would be like the best way to word that. There's this one part where they're talking about like the morals of what Lana is doing, and basically Bennett is forced, or not, yeah, Logan Bennett is forced to really face some hard truths that he, as an agent, has killed just as many people. Just as he's killed a bunch of serial killers and standoffs. Like, I think he's killed like 12 people or something. And so he's kind of forced to face that, like, there's like this whole sentiment that like, what makes Lana more of a monster because she doesn't have a badge, or like a official badge from the FBI, or like she's not part of the government in any way, shape, or form. So what she's doing, aka killing these serial rapists, is so horrible. But people in the military and the FBI doing that to like murderers and stuff is seen as okay. And it's just kind of like bullshit, all of it. Not that murder is ever the answer, obviously. I don't condone it. I think it's obviously horrible and nobody should be doing it. But I understand Lana, and I think that the conversation at hand of like, where is the line drawn, was a very fascinating. And yeah, overall it was amazing, and I am in shock. But that's where we stand. Here is my dinner. Part 2. I am gonna eat this and chill for a bit, and that's the end of the video. We had 2 5 stars and a DNF. So for this reading outside my comfort zone situation, I would say it went very well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!